Who doesn't want to be a smart footballer? That kind of player who makes the right decisions more times than not, that just has such a high IQ on the pitch, does the thing that many other players don't even see, and then obviously has the ability to do it. So I'm going to go over 5 of the habits that smart footballers have that you can start to develop so that you are one of the smartest players on the pitch. That's coming up next. Before we jump into it, I just want to say a huge thank you to today's sponsor, Football Lineup Manager. This app is a fantastic tool for managers and coaches in order to organize their teams in a very easy and intuitive way. It allows you to add and edit players and assign them to positions, see how many players you have in each of those positions, create and manage teams including different team sizes. So for example, if you're playing 7v7, 5v5, 11v11, and also for different formations. Customize your own kits, and also save matches to record how your team did against different opposition, and much more. This app was also designed to help managers be able to tinker with formations and lineups live during games. So it was made very quick, easy, and intuitive exactly for that reason. So you can check out this app through the link in my bio in the description down below. It's a must-have for all coaches and managers out there. Now let's get into the rest of the video. Now before we jump into it, my name is Dave and this is Simplysoccer, where I am creating videos every single week to help you improve your game and stand out on the pitch. If you haven't gotten my free ebook yet called Game Changer, please download that down below through the description. It's going to help take your game to that next level. It's a 50+ ebook for free. Now let's move into what these habits are, these 5 habits, so you can start developing them and be one of the smartest players on the pitch. Now, number 5, as we're going in reverse order, is to be calm under pressure. And the reason I say this is because you will not have access to your footballing IQ, or smarts, we'll call it, if you are not calm. When you get nervous, that's when you start making terrible decisions. You look at any player that makes terrible decisions often, it's because they're nervous, because they're not calm, because they're not able to really allow their training to come out in matches. And so learning to stay calm in pressure situations is crucial, and the best way to do this is to practice it in your training, practice these situations until you can be calm, but to also go into games, in my eyes, with a calm state of mind. This is something you can be more intentional with, but again, the smartest players, you can see them like the Pirlos, the Xavis, they were always calm in these situations, and even in pressure situations, always managed to do things just calmly and kind of methodically and in ways that, other players would have panicked when they were in those situations. Number 4 is to follow your instincts. When you're calm and you're allowing yourself to be cool-headed in matches, it gives you access to your instincts. Because what happens when you get nervous is you get more in your head, you start overthinking things, and it cuts you off from your instincts. You ever noticed, like, when you're nervous, you might take a terrible touch that instinctively you would never take, right? But because you're nervous, you take a terrible touch, like something that's very simple, or play a stupid pass that you're like, why did I do that? But when you're in the zone, when you're calm, you kind of just move almost automatically. Well, those are your instincts. And I would encourage you to follow your instincts. Now, the way you develop your instincts is in your training. Repetition after repetition after repetition of the right technique, getting better and better, and then to just allow that to come out in matches, following your instincts. And there are many positions where you need to do this. For example, if you've ever seen a player play that kind of incredible quick through ball that, almost no one else saw, and it was so incisive. Yeah, they didn't think that through. The ball came to them so quickly, they just followed their instincts to pop that ball around the corner or to play that incisive ball. And they just were decisive and they went and they did it. Number 3 is learn from your mistakes. All smart players are going to be doing this. They're going to be learning from their mistakes, working on them so that they don't keep making them. You can't be a smart player if you're making the same mistake over and over again. And if you notice you have a certain pattern of similar mistakes, it's something to be worked on. Again, you might make isolated mistakes here and there, and that's fine. That's going to happen. Like, you're going to make mistakes in most games, but are you making a similar mistake over and over again? Is there a certain situation that every time you miscontrol the ball or you lose the ball and it's not necessary? Do you panic in a certain situation every single time? Are you out of position in certain scenarios every single time? Learn from those mistakes, identify them, and it's just going to make you a better player and be able to make better decisions. Number 2 is analyze the best. Look at the best players and start almost in a way mimicking them. How can you add certain elements of their game to your game? And I don't care at what level these players are. You could be looking at the best and be like, oh, I can't emulate what Messi does or Ronaldo does or whatever. And it's like, absolutely you can. Maybe not to the level that they are doing it, but you can take a look at certain parts of their game and be like, okay, how can I implement that into mine? For example, we look at some of the smartest players and their awareness and how often they scan the space Isn't that something you could implement into your game that would benefit your game as an example? And so learn from the best, watch them often, watch compilations, or should I say individual performances of these players. Analyze why they made certain decisions over other decisions. And when you start making those connections, it makes it more likely that you'll start to make similar really good decisions in your games. And number one is develop a strong mindset. I'm a huge believer that football is like at least 50% mindset and mentality, because I'm sure you've seen players that are so skillful and have great ability that just don't show up in matches. And a lot of the time it is the mentality. You know, calmness would be played into this as well. And so it's so important to develop that mentality, the mindset, the confidence in these things. Because again, if you don't have confidence, you will panic. If you don't have confidence, you won't be able to do the things that these amazing smart players do. You won't be able to make the right decision more often than not. And so developing the mindsets, the mentalities that you need to be a high-level player is paramount. Now, if you want to know some of the things that are going to make you an elite player, some of the skills, the areas that are going to make you an elite player, along with being a high IQ player who makes good decisions, check out this video next where I go over 4 elite skills that if you start using in your game are just going to take you to that next level.